Welcome to Rockwall ISD Conversations, where you hear the stories of people who are making a difference in the lives of Rockwall ISD students. I'm Jeff Bailey, Superintendent of Rockwall ISD, and it's my pleasure to welcome Rockwall ISD Athletic Director Russ Reeves. Russ Reeves joined Rockwall ISD in February of 2013. Since joining Rockwall ISD, Russ has made tremendous efforts in benefiting our kids in Rockwall ISD. Russ, thank you for joining us. Russ, will you start by telling us how athletics fits into Rockwall ISD's mission of educating our community students?
Well, thank you, Mr. Bailey, for the opportunity to discuss the importance of athletics and how it affects our kids here in Rockwall ISD. You can look around and see the fantastic accomplishments of all of our student athletes, and the things that you may not see just watching them in the game is the values that we're trying to teach them in the sports as we go along. I usually touch on 3 or 4 of these different topics to show you the importance of what we're discussing. First, we teach the value of hard work, that you have to work hard to be successful in life. We also teach that you need to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and that helps develop a sense of teamwork that is a necessary asset throughout their lives. We also teach that sometimes you have to work for things that you don't automatically get, kind of like a delayed gratification, working for something that they don't see the benefits for months in advance. I use this as an example that we have kids right now that are practicing and working hard for seasons that are months away, and no one sees that hard work. So that's teaching a value that is very successful in our lives. We also teach that you need to be a part of something that makes you work for a goal that you don't see immediately, kind of teaching that delayed gratification that will make them successful in life. Finally, we teach that adversity does make you stronger, that when bad things do happen, which they will happen in any endeavor that they choose to do, whether it's athletics or life, to be able to handle adversity and use it to make them better is a quality that we want all our student athletes to have.
This has been a very successful year for athletics. Will you share some of the achievements our students have made recently?
Definitely. I think you can, without question, say that 2014 was one of the best years for athletics in the history of Rockwall ISD. And I can highlight a lot of things, but I'll just touch on a few. In football especially, we had 2 teams that had double-digit wins this year. They both made it to the 3rd round of the playoffs. That's the first time in the history of Rockwall ISD that we were able to have both teams advance in the playoffs at the same time. We also had 2 football players named to the U.S. Army All-American team, and that's the only school district in the nation that can say that. In basketball, we've had success. We have 2 individuals that have been named McDonald's All-Americans, which is very rare for a school district as well. We're in everything that we do, we're successful in soccer, golf, cross country, track and field, tennis, golf. All these activities, our kids excel to the highest level, and that's a credit to the things that our coaches are doing and that our community supports.
One of our top priorities in the district is keeping students safe. Talk about Rockwall ISD and how it's helping our students stay safe while playing sports.
Well, you can rest assured that safety is the #1 priority for our coaches and staff. And we prove that with our facilities, with the equipment that we buy, and dealing with any type of injury. We have some of the greatest athletic training personnel. They're certified, and they work well to try to get our student athletes back. But some examples of our safety priority would be things like we have an early detection lightning system that's used by the PGA Tour that helps us get our kids off the field in lightning issues. We have concussion protocols that we follow closely, that if a kid has a concussion, we're going to step in and not put the child back in until we followed a protocol that releases them to play. We also have heat and cold procedures that protect the kids in the different climates that we have, and we are constantly reviewing our facilities to make sure that we have the safest courts and fields available to our student athletes.
Our athletic programs are clearly great for our students, but one of my favorite aspects of the program, like athletics and fine arts, is that our parents and community get to participate as well. Share with us how our community can get involved with Rockwall ISD athletics.
Well, I think, number one, and you see this all throughout our communities, both in Rockwall and in Heath, but the first thing that I tell people to do is attending our activities, because students have spent countless hours preparing for these contests and doing their best to excel and show their ability. So community support really helps our student athletes in that regard. I'll give you a perfect example. The turnout at AT&T Stadium this year was phenomenal, and that is a expression of our community, and our kids really benefited from that. Secondly, I think it's important for people to get involved in their booster clubs and PTA organizations, because they are a vital part of our success in athletics. It's a team effort, and those groups help us in that. Finally, we ask for a continued support of the growth of all Rockwall ISD activities, including athletics, because it's a representation of what we want to be. And our kids do that day in and day out, and that is a reflection of everyone in our community.
Russ, I would like to thank you for coming in and speaking with us today. It's been great to hear about the success of our students in the athletics programs. To our audience, thank you for spending a few minutes with us today. I encourage you to come out and support our athletic teams this year. We've had a great time seeing the efforts of our students. I hope you'll join us again for our next edition of Rockwall ISD Conversations.